Hello friends. So in last lecture we have done Hive setup. I hope setup is working for everyone. So let's start learning about Hive query language. We have provided Hive shell to run this Hive query language or SQL commands. In Hive shell we can run HDFS or Hadoop commands also as well as Unix commands. How we can run? This is the way. To run any Unix command, just use not and then your Unix command. And to run or to execute your Hadoop commands, instead of writing Hadoop FS or HDFS space DFS, just write DFS minus ls and then your path. So that's a Hive shell. In Hive shell, we have to configure a lot of properties. So set is the way to set, then variable name and value. I would say it's not exactly a variable, it's a configurable property. So set configurable property and then its value. So let's start. To create database in Hive, we have direct statement or SQL statement is create database, drop database, and then alter table rename to, just like we had in RDBMS. So first of all, you have to start your Hadoop with start all command. Then start your Hive meta store. I told you in last lecture, right? This is the command hive dash dash service meta store ampersand. You can write this command in a script and just execute that script. How you can check that it's coming up or not? With its port that we have configured in hive site.xml. Okay, fine. So let's start Hive shell. Just enter Hive. Because you have set Hive home path in bash rc, that's why it's able to figure out where your Hive is. Okay, so show databases, just like your RDBMS. Let's create a new database. Create database Hive demo. Then to use it, just like your MySQL, or just type use Hive demo. That's it. Show tables. There are no tables. To switch, use Hive LTC. Show tables. These are my tables in my Hive LTC database. Hive provides default database, so even if you don't create, it will use default one. So let's use Hive demo. You can also create this, and we will do all our practicals in this database. So that was create database. To drop, it's simply drop database Hive demo. In Hive, we cannot change or rename the existing database. But yes, using alter command, we can change its properties. For example, alter database, then our database name, Hive LTC, set db properties, and db properties like, suppose if I want to change the owner of the database or creation date, that's it. So that was the operation on database. Let's switch to tables. There are two types of tables in Hive: managed or external. By default, it's managed. Managed means internal. So we have a warehouse location in Hive we have set a path of HDFS in HiveSet.xml that is called as warehouse. So if we create a table and we dump data into Hive, the data will reside on warehouse location. Let me show you. So that is my warehouse path /user /hive3 /warehouse. I've created a database Hive demo. So it is showing a folder hive demo.db and there is nothing inside here, right? Let's create a manage table first. So the format is create table, then table name, your columns along with their data types. Then according to your data, you need to put information here like row format delimited. So row format should be delimited. Fields terminated by I have put comma because my data contains comma separated, and every new line is a new record. If you have pipe separated or any other character, you can mention it here. Okay, show tables. Table got created emp underscore from local, but there is no data here. Just like your RDBMS, you can query. See, there is no data. So it's a managed table or internal table. How can I say? Because I have not provided any path information. I just told Hive to create a table with that schema, and it has created a folder here. That folder is empty because there is no data. In external table, I can mention the location where this folder will get created. It could be outside my warehouse, on HDFS, anywhere I can. Only things I need is write permission on that path. So that's a major difference in external and internal table. Now let's put data here. How will put data? There are two ways. One is insert override, another is load data. So I can directly load my any CSV or any file as per this format where fields are separated by comma and every row is separated by new line character into this table. If file reside on my local file system, I will use load data local in path. If my file reside on HDFS, I will use load data in path. So let's use this load data in path and then my table name. My table name is emp underscore from local. I'll put this. Now before that, let me show you this file. I don't have file. I have to put it here first. Documents. HDFS DFS minus put /u /datasets /emp. Oh, I have forgot to give. Yeah, now it's fine. See, this file resides here. Now let's load this file. Let me show you content also. So this file contains header and my data. So let load data in path and then my HDFS path into table and my table name. That's the syntax. load data in path if it is HDFS, otherwise load data local in path. Then my file path or my folder where all my data resides into table and then my table name. If my table already exists and it has data, I can use overwrite here, otherwise it will append. Okay, it says okay because schema is matching of the file and my table. Let's run select star. I just want to see 5 records. I don't want to see all records. Okay, so my data now resides in my Hive table. So this is a manage table. I have loaded a file in my manage table, so I can see this file here also in my HDFS path. See, so what Hive do? Hive move that file from that location to this warehouse location. Now this emp.csv don't exist in my older path which I have provided. So there is no file now at this path and the same file is moved under my warehouse directory. Also, if you notice one more thing, that it has taken my header row also as data, right? And since my first column was employee ID and employee ID itself does not satisfy the the condition, the schema of the table. Let me show you the schema. The command to see schema is describe and then table name. See. So my first column is employee ID, then all string, and then again salary, manager and department. So employee ID, for the employee ID, my header contains employee underscore ID and that is also taken as data here. And since data does not match the schema data type, it is taking it as null. What we can do to solve this problem? So that my load command skip first header line. Let's drop table emp underscore from local. We have dropped it. It's saying there is no such path. See, it's empty. Now we will create this, but first we'll add one more thing here to skip the first line and don't take it as row, consider it as header. How we'll do this? It's in table properties. So suppose in my original file first line is header, I can add this property and then create my table. My table is created. Let's load the data. Load data in path. But now file does not exist anymore. So I have to upload that file again on HDFS. File uploaded. Data loaded. Let's run now. So my first row is not my header. It's correct data. Right? If you see here, 100 Steven. It's taking blank value as null here. So by default it's filling null for blank values. So I hope you got clear picture about manage table. Now one more thing, that if you see when I drop table from Hive, and if it's a managed table, the data as well as schema got deleted. Complete information about a table got deleted. Now to avoid such accident, what we can do, sometime we can create an external table so that our data will reside on some other location, and when someone deletes my table, only schema will get deleted, only entry of this table will got deleted, but data will reside at its location. How to do? We'll use external keyword. Create external table emp underscore HDFS, and then complete information, and then we'll give a path also. HDFS path where our data will reside. Let's check first this path exists or not. Okay, there is a path already exists, and there is a file also on this path. So it could be empty, or also we can point our external table to point to a location which already contain data. So I'll use this location. Also, my file might contain first line as header, so let's add tpl properties to skip first line. See, so that's how using external table I can point to some file and create directly a table on it. The only thing I need to mention, correct property, how fields are separated, how rows are separated. So that was internal and external table. We also learn how to see database list, how to see table list, how to see schema of a table. Command is simple, describe emp underscore hdfs table name. It's showing me column list along with their data type. Now there are a lot of other information of Hive that we can see here. So for that we have command describe formatted then emp underscore hdfs. Now if you see output of this, describe formatted gives you a lot of information. First, column name and data type, then which database it belongs to, the owner of the table, owner of the user by its created time, the HDFS location, right? The HDFS location where it is pointing, table type, whether it's an external or managed table, any bucketing. So we'll learn this concept in future. So what bucketing, skip header line count, these are table properties. Surday, so surday in Hive means library which contains input output format classes, how your data will be read and how your data will be write. It depends on format, so we'll learn all this in upcoming lectures. The bucketing concept, sorting concept, you know, field delimiter, line delimiter. So all information you can see in describe formatted and table name or describe extended. There is not much difference in both, but things are coming proper in formatted one, and all other informations are coming just in a single line in extended one. I think you got a clear picture about external and managed table. Main difference is by default table in Hives are internal table, and if you drop it, schema and data will got deleted from HDFS. When you drop external table, data still exists on HDFS.